Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be filming a new in summer beauty video. I am in full-on summer mode despite the rain that is currently pouring down outside my window. I can't wait to get a little bit of sun in the next couple of weeks just so I can crack out all the amazing new launches that I've been sent, because right now it just feels slightly inappropriate to wear something really sparkly and summery when it's just gloomy outside. A few things to note before we get started with this video. Number one, my hair is completely unbrushable today. It's on its last day before washing and it's that matted wavy mess. I'm actually almost forming dreadlocks under here, so if it starts doing really random things and just poking out at some points in this video, then please just ignore it. It's going to bother me so much when I come to edit it. Also, things seem okay at the moment, but my neighbour loves a good bit of DIY and he is currently doing something with a chainsaw, so I'm going to try my best to speak over him today, but he may interrupt me at some points. But anyway, are you ready to see some summery skincare things? So the first two things I have to talk about are shimmer oils, which you can only really crack out in summer, and they do kind of remind me of the 90s just a little bit, but I still love them anyway. The first one is the Tom Ford Shimmering Body Oil, which is just packaged in the most beautiful glass bottle I think I've ever seen. This is just gorgeous. It's a very thick oil with very, very big chunks of glitter in it, but it is incredibly hydrating and it smells just so amazing. It smells like coconut and I just absolutely love it. It's just so, so gorgeous. If you're not a big fan of huge chunks of glitter, then you probably won't like this, but it is incredibly hydrating and the smell is just gorgeous, so I absolutely love this one at the moment. I'm just all over this for the summer. It really is so hydrating on the legs. It makes them feel so lovely and soft, and I just really, really like that. It is incredibly expensive though. However, I have a slightly more affordable option for you in the form of the Clarins After Sun Shimmer Oil. This is definitely a much finer oil. It's still very nourishing on the skin. It's definitely not as oily as the Tom Ford Shimmer Oil, but it is still quite nourishing on the skin. And for those of you that don't like big chunks of glitter, the glitter in this, or the kind of tiny particles of shimmer in it, are almost unnoticeable when you put them on the skin. It just gives the skin a really beautiful sheen, and I really, really like this. It also enhances your tan, which is incredible, so it's a lovely one to use as an after sun to soothe the skin and then to bring out your tan a little bit more. And for those of you that aren't into a coconut smell or any smell at all in your skincare, this has almost an unnoticeable scent. I would say that there is a scent there, but I can barely pick it out from the bottle or from my skin, so I would say that this is a much better one to go for if you don't like glitter or you don't like scents. And in terms of drugstore dupes, I'm pretty sure that Palmer's do an oil that is very, very similar to this. I will link it down below if I can find it. I think off the top of my head that's the only one I can think of though, but there are probably millions like this out there. And next up we have the Sunday Riley Lunar Sleeping Night Oil, which if you are a big YouTube watcher, you will have seen this mentioned about 1,000 times in the past couple of weeks since it was launched. It's a bluey greeny night oil, which is really, really interesting, and the bottle is blue as well because the product inside it can't actually be exposed to sunlight, and I can't remember why, but there is a very, very good reason for that. And this has been spoken about a lot in the past couple of weeks because of its overnight results that everyone sees the next day, and I can completely vouch for that. The first time I used this, I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my god, my skin looks amazing. What kind of sorcery is this? I've been using this every night since, and I just haven't found that it has continued that kind of wow factor for me. I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to looking at my skin in that way, but the one thing I have noticed is that I don't really see those effects with continued use. If I use it every other night, I kind of notice that difference, but continued use, I don't really see the effects all the time. I kind of see my redness start returning, and I'm not sure if it's just my skin and it reacting to environmental factors, but it is a lovely oil and lots of people have seen way better results than I have, and it definitely does help kind of even out your skin tone, even out any redness, and it gives it a really nice glow, and it also feels really, really lovely and nourishing when you apply it. But for me, I'm kind of still on the fence with this one. I'm going to keep trying it out over the next few months, and I'll let you know kind of what I think in a couple of months' time as to whether it is 100% not worth it or worth it. I'll come back and let you know. But if you're into your high-end skincare anyway and you're looking to get a new oil, then this is definitely one to check out. And then we have a new Tom Ford fragrance which has come out with their summer collection. I think there are two that have been released into their summer collection, and this is Fleur de Portofino? Fleur de Portofino. Something like that. And this is the lighter scent of the two, and it's very light, very citrusy and quite warm. It's really lovely. It's very similar to the blue scent that Clarins do, so if you already have that then you don't need this, and it is also a fraction of the price, so definitely check that one out. But it comes in a beautiful blue bottle, and if you are into your Tom Ford couture scents anyway, I think that's what these are called, then this is absolutely lovely. It's just so fresh and gorgeous, and I would definitely recommend giving this a sniff if you are interested in getting a new summer perfume. And then we have a base that I wanted to talk to you about, and what would a new in beauty video be without a foundation lightweight tinted moisturiser rave? I mentioned in my last video that the Chanel CC cream was very similar to the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and my friend Alex from I Covet Thee is completely in love with the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and for ages she's been on and on at me to give it a proper try. So I popped it in my kind of travel makeup bag, which I take when I go overnight somewhere or I go on shoots and want to kind of redo my makeup after. And after trying this out every time that I did that, I really grew to like this and just started putting it in my normal makeup bag, and I have fallen completely in love with this. It's very similar to the Chanel CC cream, I stand by that, but a fraction of the price. But it also just sits slightly better on the skin and just has a slightly more flawless finish, but in a very natural way. I have the shade Natural 05, but I probably could be 04 right now. I think this is more my summer shade, and I will continue to use this over the next few months, but I probably could go to 04 or even down to 03 in the winter. I would say this is definitely one to apply more with a brush than with fingers. I much prefer the finish with a brush, whereas with the Chanel CC cream I prefer the finish with fingers. So if you're looking for a really lovely lightweight base for the summer, I would 100% recommend picking this up. So moving on to some more makeup items, I have something from the Charlotte Tilbury Norman Parkinson collection which I wanted to show you today. I've spoken about the cream blush and the all over radiance dewy highlighter thing. Both of those were from the Norman Parkinson collection, and I love those. And this one I was a little bit on the fence about, so I thought I'd talk about it in this video because I know that a lot of you will be after something like this because you're not into powders, so this is one to look out for if you like creams. This is basically the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow in cream form. So you have your kind of contoury bronzy shade in cream and your highlighter in cream, and I'm all over the highlighter in this. I'm not too keen on the bronzer in this, so this is a complete flip side for how I feel about the original powder Bronze and Glow, because I love the bronzer and hate the highlighter. So if I could just chop both of them in half and then squish the highlighter and the bronzer from each one together, I would be one happy lady. Basically the highlighter in this is just really beautiful and creamy, but also very subtle, which is what I like. I find that the original Bronze and Glow highlighter is just way too much. Even when I apply the tiniest amount, it just looks awful and it sits really horribly on my skin, and it just doesn't do any favours for my cheekbones. Whereas this one just sits beautifully because it's a cream, it just kind of glazes over the skin and it's absolutely gorgeous and I love it. The bronzer in this though is slightly darker and more cool toned than the original Bronze and Glow powder bronzer. Some of you may love that because the original is very warm toned, which I love. It sits really nicely on my skin and blends really beautifully and I love it. But for some of you that have paler skin tones, this might actually be a good one to look into because you just use a tiny amount, and because it's slightly more ashy toned, it will just kind of work better with paler skin tones. But for anyone that has a slightly warmer skin tone, this might not work as well. I have the bronzer blended through my cheekbones today and the highlighter over my cheekbones and on the bridge of my nose, and the combination is lovely. I'm not saying that it's terrible and don't ever buy it. I'm just being highly picky with everything in this video because it's nice to know which new launches are worth the hype and which ones aren't. But if you have the original Bronze and Glow, then you definitely don't need another one unless you are really into cream products, in which case you will love this. You will absolutely love it. And then for those of you who love a warm bronzer, I have got something for you. This is the Chanel Illuminating powder and it is so bloody gorgeous. Look at that. You probably can't see it from here, but basically it is the most gorgeous kind of bronzy, powdery goodness in a kind of flower shape in the pan. It's just absolutely stunning. I am all over this. It's a powder, but it has a really beautiful buttery consistency that when you touch it in the pan makes it feel almost cream-like, which I just love this. I love everything about it. It is bloody gorgeous. It blends beautifully into the skin and gives a lovely kind of sun-kissed look. So I use it all over the high points of my face and kind of either side of my nose just to make it look like I have a little bit of a sun-kissed glow to me, and it just is absolutely gorgeous. I love it a lot. The wear time on this is really good as well, and I don't think I have a bad word to say about this, so if you're looking for a lovely new high-end bronzer for the summer, I would highly recommend picking this up. And then something else that's new from Chanel that I never thought I would feature in a video and say that I liked it, because I normally hate their nail polishes with a passion because they are chip central. This is their nail polish in 717. I'm not even going to try and say the name of this because I just don't even know where to start. At the risk of looking really, really stupid, I'll put it in the description box so you can go and read it for yourself. But this is a gorgeous post box red. I'm just all over this colour. I just love it. It just is really mood boosting. I don't know, it just makes me really, really happy. I have it on my nails today, and I just love it. The great thing about Chanel polishes is that they apply so beautifully. I find it really hard to kind of go over the lines. I don't know what to call it, but like, you know when you get nail polish kind of where it's not meant to be? I find it really hard to do that with the Chanel ones because they just have the tiniest brush and you get nail polish exactly where you want it. So it's so easy to apply. And this time around I went the whole hog and applied 3 coats, which I don't normally do. And the wear time has actually been really, really good. I was even able to do the washing up and it didn't chip, which is incredible. I don't know if maybe just the formula is better in this one colour, I'm not sure, but I've been really, really impressed with this shade, and it's actually kind of slightly made me want to try more Chanel polishes, which never ever happens because I'm normally 100% against them. So yeah, if you're looking to treat yourself to a lovely red summery nail polish, I would definitely recommend looking at this one because it's just such a pretty colour. But if this is completely out of your budget, then I'm pretty sure Rimmel have a very, very good dupe for this red colour, as do Maybelline and Estee as well. Estee Fifth Avenue is very, very similar to this, so if you have that, you do not need this. Next up, I have some lipsticks. What is a Hello October video without a ton of lip products? These are the Revlon Ultra HD lipsticks, which are really creamy, highly pigmented, wax-free lipsticks. And I love these. These have really great lasting power, and they also come in the most beautiful colours. So a lot of them are dupes for Chanel lipsticks that I own, so if I can find out which ones they're dupes for, I will link it in the description box below. But shade 810, which is HD Orchid, is almost an exact dupe for Chanel Jean, which I've been wearing a lot from the Rouge Coco range. So if you really like that one, and you saw it in my vlog when I went to lunch with I went to lunch with Tanya. If you really liked that lipstick, then this is almost an exact dupe for it, so I definitely recommend picking this up. The only thing that I don't like about these is the smell, because I can smell them right now and they're in their packaging, and it's a really kind of, I want to say like, it's very fruity, almost kind of like watermelony. It's kind of a melony kind of grapefruity scent. And I am just not a big lover of really, really, really scented lipsticks, and these are definitely so highly scented, and you can still kind of smell them when they are on your lips, which is slightly strange. But the packaging is beautiful, they're really affordable and brilliant lipsticks, so I definitely recommend taking a look at these if you are on the hunt for some new, really bright, highly pigmented summery lipsticks. And then I also have a few new lipsticks from Clinique as well, and these are the Pop Lip lipsticks, I think that's what they're called, and these are basically a lipstick and primer in one, which is so interesting. These sit really beautifully on my lips. They're kind of quite creamy but long lasting. The wear time is absolutely brilliant on them. Some of the shades also leave a slight stain after as well, which I really, really love, because it just means that even after they've worn off, you still feel like you have a little something on your lips. And my favourite shades from this range are Beige Pop, Poppy Pop and Melon Pop. They all have pop in the name, and these are just the most gorgeous shades. Beige Pop is obviously a kind of brownie nude, which is so beautiful, and I've been wearing that on a daily basis at the moment. So I'm really loving these. Definitely check them out if you're on the hunt for a new lipstick. So that is it for my new in summer beauty video. I hope you guys like this. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. I hope you're all having a lovely day, evening, weekend, whatever you are doing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!